วันนี้เข้ามาเท่าไหร่
วันนี้ทาง Facebook เข้ามา366 YouTube 280วิทยุออนไลน์19รับฟังข้างบนนี้67คนรวมทั้งหมด732ครับ
ช่วงนี้ก็เป็นช่วงถามตอบขออภัยลืมไปวันนี้มีนัดกับชาวต่างประเทศคือมีผู้ที่ติดตามใน Facebook หน้าภาษาอังกฤษเขาต้องการถามคำถามต่างๆเขาก็เลยส่งคำถามเข้ามาเราก็รวบรวมไว้พอได้ประมาณสัก30คำถามเราก็จะเอามารวมกันตอบพอดีวันนี้นัดกันไว้ว่าจะตอบวันนี้นี่ลืมสนิทเลยก็เลยตอนนี้ช่วงนี้ก็จะเป็นช่วงภาษาอังกฤษใครฟังอังกฤษไม่เป็นก็คงจะต้องฟัง ถ้าไม่อยู่ฟังก็ไม่ว่าอะไรแต่ตอนนี้จะขอเริ่มเป็นภาษาอังกฤษส่วนภาษาไทยวันนี้ขอยุติไว้เพียงเท่านี้ถ้าอยากจะถามภาษาไทยก็ต้องรอวันพรุ่งนี้ต่อไปนี้จะขอเริ่มต้นเป็นภาษาอังกฤษ Welcome to our monthly question and answer session. Please start with the first question.
Question number 1. How to contemplate on the 32 parts? Do we keep repeating the 32 parts or do we think about the hair that turns from black to gray?
Well, contemplation of the 32 parts of the body is really studying the body, get to know the body inside and outside, know the composition, the makeup of the body, such as the 32 parts. So you have to know what the hair looks like, where it stands, the hair of the head, hair of the body, nail, teeth, skin, flesh, bones, and all the organs. First you might recite the name first. Once you can remember the 32 names, then you might visualize each name until it becomes embedded in your mind. Just like the picture of people is embedded in your mind. When you think of people that you have seen, you know exactly what they look like. But the problem is you only know the outside of the body. You don't see the inside of the body. In Buddhism, we want you to see both outside and inside, so that your perception of the body will be balanced, not upside down, or not proper, not right. Yeah. So that you will not be deluded by your perception. If you only see the outside part of the body, you can be deluded, be deceived to think that the body is beautiful, attractive. But if you look inside the other part, inside the body, then you can see that it's not really attractive at all. So this is the purpose of contemplation of the 32 parts of the body, so that you can get the true fact, true knowledge of the body, what it is actually.
Question number 2 from Suresh, India. What practice that we have to do so that we can cease the immoral sexual attachment?
Could you repeat the question again?
What practice that we have to do so that we can cease the immoral sexual attachment?
Just the contemplation of the body, the 32 parts. See the unattractive part of the body. Then your attachment to the body will be eliminated.
Question number 3 from Elizabeth, Norway. In my meditation, the experience of clear light is associated with a high level of bliss, but a lot of forest ajahn seem to recommend to let go of the light in meditation. Can ajahn please give advice?
Because sometimes this light can appear and sometimes it doesn't appear. So it's not the the object of our meditation. The object of our meditation, of the goal of our meditation is calm, peace of mind, which will always appear if you practice properly. If you can concentrate your mind, keep your mind being focused on one object, such as your breath, your mind will gradually become calmer and peaceful, more peaceful, until it can become completely calm and peaceful. Sometimes you might experience some light, sometimes you don't. So don't forget that the light is not the goal you want. The goal you want is the peace of mind, which will always appear, will always happen. But the light, sometimes it might appear and sometimes it might not. If you use the light of your object, you might be disappointed when it doesn't appear.
Question number 4. Is the state of samadhi panya the same like having a glimpse of the state of vichara?
No. See, samadhi is calm, while panya is wisdom or enlightenment. They are two separate things. Calm you can get by focusing your mind on one object, such as your breath. While enlightenment, you have to see that things are impermanent, that they can cause suffering if you are attached to them, that they don't really belong to you. And when you see this and you let go of everything, then you become enlightened. And that's wisdom or panya.
Question number 5. According to the suttas, the jhana factors include piti and sukha. How do you define these factors?
Piti probably means rapture. Sukha means happiness. So you might have this as you focus your mind. When your mind becomes calmer and calmer, these things will happen and then it will disappear. When the mind becomes completely calm, then all that is left is ubekkha, which is equanimity. The mind remain neutral. The mind doesn't react to anything that it comes into contact with. It will just remain knowing, with no reaction, no emotional reaction, and have a different kind of happiness. This is the happiness that arises from when the mind becomes completely calm.
Question number 6 from Theo, Malaysia. What is vitakka, vichara, piti, rapture and sukha in meditation?
Well, I think you can look up in Google really. So from what I understand, vitakka is vitakka, vijan is using your thoughts. Vitok, vijan in Thai. Vitok, vitakka means to think of something, like think of your breath. It's vitok. Vijan is to know whether your breath is in or out. So they go together, vitok, vijan. When you contemplate, when you focus on your breathing, you are using vitok, vijan. When you know your breath, you are vitok. When you know that your breath is in or out, then this is vijan.
Question number 7. As the mind will be the one that stays on after the body breaks apart, can we say that the mind is mine?
You can say anything, but it don't change anything. The mind is what it is. So it doesn't matter what label you put to it. It's not important. What is important is how to make your mind happy and not sad. That's really the problem. The problem is not how you want to call your mind. You can call it the spirit, you can call it a ghost, you can call it anything. They are just labels to indicate what the mind is, that's all. So that you can communicate with other people. But it doesn't change anything. If the mind is still sad, it will sad regardless of what label you put on it. If the mind is happy, it will be happy regardless of what label you put upon the mind. So it's not the label that you should be concerned with. It's whether you can make it happy all the time or not.
And as Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara and Vijnana come from mind, are those also mind?
No, they are function of the mind. They like the servants of the mind. They serve the mind when the mind has to use the body. When the mind wants to use the body, then they use the four nama khandas. The mind use the four nama khanda to connect to the body, then use the body to bring it happiness. But this kind of getting happiness has drawback, because besides happiness you also get unhappiness or sadness when you lose the thing that you have. When the happiness that you have disappear, then sadness will appear. So this is not the right way or good way to find happiness. The right way is to make the mind calm and peaceful and let go of everything.
Question number 9 from Deborah. During my walking meditation, I realized that I had a strong craving to be popular in my job. I wanted all my students to love me and join my group. Is this kama tanha or bhava tanha? And what is the antidote for this type of craving?
This is bhava tanha, the craving for being popular, being loved. And the antidote is to realize, to see that this thing is impermanent. The thing that you want is impermanent. People might love you, and then one day they might hate you. If something happens, something change. So you have to look at the impermanence of everything, of the things that you desire for. Once you see, and then you see the hurt the impermanence will cause you, then you will not will have any craving for them.
Question number 10. What is the difference between Vijnana and Citta?
Vinyan has two meaning. Vinyan in the nama khanda is the one that connect the mind to the body, what you call the sensual doors. The vinyan that connects to the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and body, so that the sight, sound, smell, taste and tactile object can be delivered to the mind through this vijnana. This is a channel that connects the mind to the body. The mind also has another name called vinyan. When the mind is separated from the body, after the body dies, then the mind is called vijnana, or spiritual being. So vijnana has two meanings. Vinyan in the nama khanda, and vinyan as the mind itself after the body is dead.
Question number 11. What is consciousness and why is it anatta?
Well, consciousness is an English word to denote something that knows, such as the mind. And anatta means that there is no self. It's a natural process, not a self, not like something that we think of. We think of our body is a self, but even the body, if you study and investigate, you'll find it's just a natural process composed of the four elements. The mind is a natural process called the knowing element, the consciousness. It is not a self, but it can think that it is a self. The mind thinks that itself is the self, but it's just thinking, it's not real. Because in real, there's no self in this entire world, both the physical and spiritual world. You will never find a self, because there is no such thing as a self. A self is just a concept created by the delusion of the mind itself.
Question number 12 from François, France. Is consciousness the awareness?
Same thing, yes. It's just a matter of terminology you use. Knowing, consciousness, awareness, it refers to the one who knows, who thinks, which is the mind.
Question number 13 from Shia. Does a person's ignorance or wisdom lie in the consciousness aggregate?
It lies in the mind itself, not the consciousness aggregate. It is embedded in the mind called avijja. Avijja is the one that stimulates the action of the four nama or the mental aggregates into action.
Question number 14. If reciting Buddha doesn't help me to stop thinking, should I get up from my sitting meditation and listen to Dhamma talks, or should I force myself to continue to recite Buddha?
You can try both ways. If you can force yourself to continue to recite and it still doesn't make any difference, then you might want to get up and develop more mindfulness first. It means you don't have enough mindfulness. Mindfulness should be developed all the time, not just during meditation. You should try to recite Buddha from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Only stop reciting when you have to use your thoughts for something important, such as your work. But if you don't have to use your thought, then you should stop it from thinking about other things by reciting Buddha, Buddha. When you do things that you don't need to think, such as walking, standing, sitting, doing some routine chore like bathing, brushing your teeth, combing your hair, dressing up, eating, you should then use Buddha to stop your mind from thinking aimlessly.
Question number 15. I get stressed out at work because I always want to get everything done properly. How to make my mind calm during work?
You just have to be reasonable, that's all. You only have 2 hands and you only have 8 hours to work, so you can only do so much. So just try to look at the possibility, look at the possible. Don't look at the impossible. If you look at the impossible, then you become stressed out because you are trying to do more than what you can do. So do what you can and accept that this is the limit of your ability. So what? We are not Superman. Don't be Superman. It doesn't matter. Being Superman doesn't make you any happier anyway. Getting more money, getting more work done doesn't make you any more happy. In fact, real happiness is not to do anything.
Question number 16 from Lee, Malaysia. Do we have to do anapanasati meditation first before we can achieve samadhi?
Well, anapanasati is the mean to have samadhi. You need to sit down and focus your mind on your breath to stop thinking. Because when the mind stops thinking, then the mind will become united into one, not scattered by the thoughts. When the mind becomes united, we call samadhi. It becomes calm, peaceful, and happy.
Question number 17. How do we know when we achieve samadhi during meditation?
It's like when you eat, you know when you become full. You don't have to ask your wife or your husband, am I full yet, honey? Yeah. You know. So when your mind becomes calm and happy, you know, oh, I'm happy, I'm calm. You don't need to ask anybody.
Question number 18. In Hinduism, the Atman is said to be permanent and it takes endless rebirth until it reaches nirvana. Is Atman the same as the Citta in Buddhism?
Yes, it's the same thing, but the interpretation of the Citta differs from religion to religion. Christianity refers to the Citta as God. Hinduism refers to as the Atman, but it is the same thing. It is the mind.
Question number 19 from Adeline, Malaysia. When I meditate, my mind is calm and I am aware of the calm mind. When a thought seeps into the mind, who is the one that thinks as the mind is already calm?
When it thinks, it means it's not calm already. So you have to use mindfulness to stop thinking. See, when you are calm, you can become calm just quick, briefly or long, depends on the strength of your mindfulness. Sometimes you can be calm just for a few seconds, then you start to think again. Then you need to focus your mind on your meditation object again to stop it from thinking. So you have to keep doing this until eventually your mind can become calm or longer and longer. When you first started, your calm will be very short, very brief. We call Kanika Samadhi, briefly. But after you will develop more mindfulness, you sit more, you sit longer, then your mind can become calm longer. Then we call Appana Samadhi.
Question number 20 from Sammy. When I was practicing Vipassana from Goenka, I had a lot of insight and mindfulness. But when I started Samatha meditation 3 years ago, my meditation is going downhill. Should I go back to Vipassana or should I persist in Samatha?
That's your choice to make. But if you ask me, I would say you have to start at Samatha first, before you can go to Vipassana. Because the Vipassana that you develop without Samatha will be fake Vipassana, not real Vipassana. It will not be able to get rid of your defilement and get rid of all your dukkha or suffering. First you need to develop Samatha, because Samatha is the strength of the mind. The power of the mind is in Samatha. The strength to stop your defilement is in Samatha, not in Vipassana. Vipassana only tell you why you should stop your defilement. But if you have no strength to stop your defilement, even you know that it is not good to let your defilement do what it wants to do, you will not be able to stop it from doing. So you need to first develop Samatha before you can go up to Vipassana. The reason why your meditation is going downhill because you have to restart your meditation, and the advance that you get from your Vipassana are not real advance. You might seem that your mind is better, but it's just not real, that's all. If it's real, it should remain even if you restart your meditation.
Question number 21 from Jessica. Why a person who has loving kindness and compassion is easy to be taken advantage of by others?
Because they are dumb, they're not smart. Being compassionate and kind doesn't mean you have to be dumb at the same time. You have to be compassionate and dumb and smart and wise at the same time. So you have to know how much you have to dispense with your kindness and your compassion, and to whom. You have to use wisdom. You have to have the ability to judge the people that you are dealing with, whether they worth the compassion and the kindness you give them or not. See? So you need wisdom or panya along with your loving kindness and compassion.
And how to overcome the mindset of not wanting to be easily taken advantage of based on the teaching of the Buddha.
That's why you have to know how to help people. If you think you have been taken advantage of, then you should stop, that's all. Help those people who really need help. Those who don't really need help don't need to help them.
Question number 23 from Johannes. Last year when I started Anapanasati and attended Goenka retreat, I was very happy. My clinging towards my family, my money and business reduced substantially. As my business grows well this year, I am not as happy as before because I cling back more towards my family and the business. I still meditate and listen to Dhamma talk every day. What is Thanajan's suggestion so that I can cling less and eventually terminate the clinging permanently?
You just have to practice more. The more you practice, the more you will let go. The less you practice, the more you become attached to things that you have. See, previously when you went to practice, you can let go, but when you come back and work, then you start to become attached to what you have. So you have to go practice more in order to be able to let go of your attachment.
Question number 24. How to politely ignore answering when someone asks sensitive questions?
Just act dumb, act as if you could not hear what they say, or just don't reply, or talk about something else. Talk about the weather, talk about whatever, if you don't want to reply what they ask you.
Question number 25 from Katrina, Australia. I have realized lately how much I complain about things in my life. I would like to be more accepting and grateful. Do you have any advice on how to do this?
Just accept things as they come. The Buddha say, small is beautiful. Just have enough to exist. It's all you need. So if you have less expectation, less craving, less desire, then you can become more accepting to the things that you get or what you have.
Question number 26. How can I stay happy having to face personal problem like being childless in a family where all other relatives have many children?
Well, you can look at the pros and cons of having children. Having children, it means another mouth to feed, someone else you have to look after, more expenses, more problem, more worries, more anxiety, all sort of, emotional downside will happen in your mind. If no child, then no problem, no expense, nothing to worry about, nobody to worry about. So try to use common sense. Don't use your craving. If you use your craving will tell you, oh, you're no good, you have no child, you have no happiness. But if you look at the real thing, you see having a child, is it really happiness or is really a burden, a source of suffering? If you use common sense, use wisdom or whatever you call it, then you can see the pros and cons of having a child and not having a child.
And is being childless due to past karma?
It has many factors. So don't worry about what makes you childless. Just try to know how to live with your being childless and be happy. That's more important.
Question number 28. Is it okay to avoid family members and relatives as I feel depressed for having to continue to disagree with them?
Can you please...
Okay. Is it okay to avoid family members and relatives as I feel depressed for having to continue to disagree with them?
Well, it depends whether you have to meet them or not. If you don't have to meet them, then you can avoid them. But if you have to meet them, sometimes you just have to force yourself to meet them with a calm mind and just don't expect anything from them. Just let them say and let them do whatever they want to say and do. You just try to be nice, smile to them, say nice things to them until the time appropriate to separate from them, then you just separate. So because you still live together, you have to maintain a good relationship. So try to use metta when you have to meet people. Smile at them, say nice things to them. Don't say anything bad. If you don't like what you hear, just stop listening by reciting a mantra in your mind, Bhutto, 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 and then let them say whatever they want to say, and you won't be hearing what they say if you keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. And until when they stop, then you can then stop reciting and just say, enough, do you have enough to say? Okay, Just don't react negatively when you meet people. Try to be calm or be non-reactive, just to be hearing, be listening to what they say. but you don't have to take their word for it. Whatever they say, just word. Just don't pay attention. Don't be emotionally involved with what you hear.
Question number 29 from Robin, Singapore. Is the benefit for the donor the same when he gives dana to a family member who is a layperson Sotapanna versus gives dana to a monk Sotapanna?
Giving to anybody, whether they are enlightened or not, has no bearings on the benefit for the donor. The thing that has bearings on the donor is the amount of giving. The more you give, the more benefit you get. The less you give, the less benefit you get. It's not the receiver who determines the benefits of your giving. It's the amount of money, the amount of things that you give away that will decide the benefit that you get.
Question number 30. For a layperson who is a Sotapanna and who does not declare it to anyone but still stay with his family, when his friends or family mistreated him in verbal or physical, does that bring harm to the family members and friends?
Well, if they are mistreated, then they will be harmed if they have been hit by someone. So it doesn't matter whether you are enlightened or not enlightened. Your body will be affected by whatever is done to the body. It doesn't matter whether your mind is enlightened or not enlightened. It doesn't change the fact of the body. The body will just have to bear the result of having a body. If somebody don't like you, they will hit your body, they will hurt your body, but they cannot hurt your mind. If you are an enlightened mind, you can forgive them for what they do.
Question from Robin. If a lay person has made multiple vows to return to samsara after his passing, does that mean that should he has achieved arahant in this life, he will still come back to become human because of his vows?
No, because once you don't return, you don't return, regardless of many vows you make. Vows doesn't have the power to bring the enlightened mind to return to rebirth anymore. So don't worry about what you have vowed in the past. Vow is only a mean to let you do what that you never do before. If you don't make a vow, then you don't feel responsible. You don't have to commit yourself to do things. But once you make a vow, then you have to commit yourself to do it. That's all. But if you don't reborn, then there's nothing for you to do. So your vow cannot bring you to return to rebirth again. Is that all the questions? Well, thank you for all your questions. If my reply to you is not clear enough, please send in more questions, and we'll do it again the next time, which is probably the next month. In the meantime, please keep on practicing, and hopefully one day you all will become enlightened. Take care and be happy. คิดว่าการแสดงก็พอสมควรแก่เวลาก็ขอให้ท่านทั้งหลายจงนำเอาสิ่งที่ท่านได้ยินได้ฟังไปพินิจพิจารณาไปปฏิบัติเพื่อความสุขความเจริญก้าวหน้าในธรรมยิ่งขึ้นไปเทอญ